shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Behave yourselves!
Hello YouTubers out there, this is Jerry Saravia at the movies. So today we're doing something slightly different. We are talking about movies that I saw in 1992. We're going a little forward. As you know, some of you that follow my channel, I did talk about films I saw in theaters from 1983, I think, up until 1989. So this time I have a scrapbook here that I put together from way back, starting in 1992 through 93 and 94. So this is a scrapbook, and these are the movies that I would have seen in theaters. So here we go. Okay, Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That came out in the beginning of 1992. Thriller starring Rebecca De Mornay and Annabella Sciorra. Not the greatest thriller, but you know, not bad either. It's one of those rare thrillers. I think Julianne Moore was also in it, where the spoiler alert, but oh well, you know, it's been 30 years. The ending has Rebecca De Mornay killed and she stays dead. That's unusual for that time. Most of the time, thrillers like Sleeping with the Enemy and you know, several others adopted the whole Friday the 13th Michael Myers thing. The killer's never really dead, but in this case, was dead. That was it. Once she's killed, it's over. Okay. Next one, Medicine Man, starring Sean Connery, Lorraine Bracco, and that was a pretty good ecological adventure. I thought it was pretty good. It was well acted. I didn't mind it. Some people criticize it as a Lorraine Bracco's Brooklyn accent and all that, but I like the picture well enough. I like Connery in it. It's directed by John McTiernan. Excuse me, pretty good film. Now, Free Jack I didn't see in theaters, nor Alan and Naomi or Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. So I'm only discussing stuff I've seen in theaters. American Me, Memoirs of an Invisible Man I saw on video. Thunderheart I did see in theaters. Stars Val Kilmer and Sam Shepard and Graham Greene. This was, I think, prior to this film. It was a documentary called Incident at Oglala, which was done by Robert Redford. And film is a bit mediocre, I thought, but sort of interesting. Of course, it deals with the investigation from the FBI on the murder of another FBI agent on the Sioux Reservation in South Dakota, and all set in the Pine Ridge reservations of South Dakota. Again, not a bad film, but I think the documentary was better, but certainly worth seeing. I didn't see Power of One. Obviously, I didn't write anything about it. One False Move. This was a terrific movie. One of the best thrillers of the 90s. This is sort of like Fargo, except less of the irony and humor. This is a serious, very violent picture. Cinda Williams, I believe, yeah, she played Fantasia in this picture. And there's Billy Bob Thornton. And then there's an intelligent drug dealer, played by Michael Beach, who you would know from several things. He's been in Internal Affairs and Lean on Me, etc. Bill Paxton, of course, plays Dale. He's a Texas sheriff who knows Fantasia and joins two LA detectives in their search for the killers, who are, of course, Billy Bob and Michael Beach. So they are on the run. It's that type of picture. Terrific ending. Very well structured. I believe it was the debut of director Carl Franklin. And no real Hollywood conventions in this film. It's just, it is what it is. It's also an examination, albeit in a small way, of the South in ways that are not stereotypical. So that was a very good film. I actually saw that one at the CCA, Center for Contemporary Arts out in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And believe it or not, in the audience was Gene Hackman. That's how I remember it, because he was sitting outside the theater. Nobody really bothered him too much. Anyway, so I saw a movie with Gene Hackman. That's pretty cool. All right, The Babe and White Men Can't Jump, I didn't see in theaters, so we will not discuss them. I saw them on video. My Cousin Vinny, I did see in theaters. It stars, of course, Joe Pesci, Marissa Tomei. I don't think I have to say too much about this. It was directed by Jonathan Lynn, who that same year directed Eddie Murphy and the Distinguished Gentleman. Very funny movie. It's quite quotable. It's got Ralph Macchio. It's got, oh goodness, Fred Gwynn as a judge. Very good movie. All right, Mississippi Masala. By the way, My Cousin Vinny, I think I saw that at a discount theater. So I think I paid $2 to see it. But anyway. Mississippi Masala, I didn't see in theaters, but that is a pretty good film. Denzel Washington. Saw that on video. Lawnmower Man, I did not see in theaters. I did see City of Joy, starred Patrick Swayze, not in theaters. And I never saw Ruby with Danny Aiello. I haven't seen any of these. I did see Mambo Kings, but not in theaters. Now that's a name you don't see very often. Michael Dudikoff, The Human Shield, best known for in the 1980s for American Ninja movies. Stephen King's Sleepwalkers, but I haven't seen those two. Mambo Kings I saw, but again, not in theaters. I didn't see Basic Instinct or Fern Gully in theaters, so we can leave those out. I hate Basic Instinct. Water Dance, I think I still need to see it, now that I'm looking at this. Night on Earth I like. That's Jim Jarmusch, but again, I saw that in video. I think I did see this movie, Poison Ivy. I'm not sure I had very much, I don't remember much of it. Okay, Robert Altman's film, The Player, I did see in theaters. It's one of the best Robert Altman films ever made. And, of course, it's a satire on Hollywood. And the film sort of ends where it starts. It's just does the flip. It's really quite a fascinating narrative and structure. Everybody that you might know or you think is in The Player at that time is in it. That includes Julia Roberts and Bruce Willis in cameo roles. Tim Robbins plays an executive, film executive. Somebody's harassing him and sending him mail, threatening him. Vincent D'Onofrio is also in this picture. Oh my God, there's so many people in this movie. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg, Fred Ward, Brian James, Cynthia Stevenson. Great cast. A very great film. I've seen this many times. I only saw it once in theaters. I should have seen it more than once. All right, Lethal Weapon 3 I saw in theaters. And, you know, again, not a bad picture. Up here it says B+, CS. If you can read that. That's my brother, who occasionally would put his own rating on something. I didn't quite like it as much as he did, but it's an enjoyable enough movie. But at that point, the Lethal Weapon movies was becoming The Cosby Show, with occasional action thrown in. That's the best way I can put it. Okay, so Alien 3, I did like. I, probably should see it again. I think I've only seen it twice. I liked it. I know a lot of people hate this movie, Sigourney Weaver, but I enjoyed the picture a lot. I thought it was terrific. My brother wrote Best Alien Ever. I think at this time he was 12 or 11 years old. So, I don't think that's the best Alien film. It's certainly not the mother of all monster movies. It's amazing, these type of ads, I kind of miss seeing them. Well, I guess you sort of see it, but not very often. I never saw Class Act. Now that I see this, I was like, oh, Kid and Play from House Game. Far and Away, this was a 65mm theatrical presentation by Ron Howard. Deals a little bit with the Oklahoma land rush. And when I think Irish, I don't necessarily think Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, but whatever. It's not a bad movie, but I think you've seen it once, and you've seen all you need to see as far as I'm concerned. I have no real desire to ever see this picture again. But it was well done, but, yeah. Sister Act I didn't see in theaters. Patriot Games I did. I didn't care for it. I didn't like this movie at all. I prefer Cleaner Present Danger, and certainly Hunt for Red October. But Harrison Ford, he's good, playing what he does best. It's I thought it was rather awkwardly directed by Philip Noyce, who did a film called Dead Calm back then in 1989, starring Nicole Kidman. I didn't really care for Patriot Games. Batman Returns is one of those movies that it's just a little over the top for me. I appreciate the darkness of it, but I think it felt too much like a Tim Burton fantasy as opposed to Batman. But anyway, my brother wrote 3.5 stars, not as good as the first. Yeah, I would agree with that. So, League of Their Own I did see in theaters, but I never actually wrote a review for it. So one of these days, I do have the Blu-ray for it, which includes The Natural. And I did like it. It is a good movie. I just have to see it again. I haven't really seen it since. Let's see, what does this say? He wrote, my brother, a great performance by Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, and Madonna. And Rosie. Wow, okay. I haven't really looked through this in a while. All right. Boomerang I like, but I didn't see it in theaters. Unlawful Entry I saw in theaters. Kind of a mediocre thriller. I mean, it's well acted. It's got Kurt Russell, Ray Liotta, Madeline Stowe. To me, it would be like an afternoon type movie. I think that's the best way to put it. But I think you've seen it once. You've seen this several times before. It's really nothing new. Ray Liotta's a psycho cop, so there you go. Kurt Russell, unfortunately, becomes friends with him, which he shouldn't have. I think I saw this. You know what? I might have seen Unlawful Entry at a drive-in. It's possible. I'm not sure. In those days, I did go to a drive-in out in Espanola, New Mexico, which had one drive-in. 2.5 stars for my brother. I think I saw this in a drive-in. But again, I can't be 100%. I don't know. Okay. House Sitter. Pretty good movie. Steve Martin, Goldie Hawn. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I remember enjoying it. That's all I could really tell you. But it was that was a fun movie. I saw that in theaters. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Stay tuned. I haven't seen these in theaters. This I eventually saw in on video. I don't really give it very high marks. Raising Cain. That's Brian De Palma's movie. Now this is the most unusual Brian De Palma movie I can think of, because rather than trying to, let's say, pay homage to Alfred Hitchcock, it seems that De Palma decided to kind of rip off himself. But it is an interesting comedy. I think it's more of a black comedy than anything else. It is quite funny. There are some scary moments, definitely. John Lithgow, Lolita Davidovich, and Stephen Bauer. Yeah, these are actors, aside from John Lithgow, we don't hear about too often anymore. Death Becomes Her is Robert Zemeckis' film. I didn't see it in theaters. My brother gave it a B-. I think I just gave it 2 stars. I never cared for that movie. Although it was certainly, I guess, original. But, yeah. Unforgiven is one of my favorite westerns of all time. It's a great film. Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Richard Harris, Morgan Freeman. Very powerful film. That's all I could say. I think my brother said not the best picture of 92. Well, that's his opinion. It is. It's either that or Malcolm X, which I think we're getting to very shortly. All right. I haven't seen any of these movies. I haven't seen Mo Money or Three Ninjas or The Gun and Betty Lou's Handbag. Look at that. Bugsy Capone. Okay, gotcha. Wow. No, you know what? I haven't even thought of this, but my brother saw it. He gave it 2.5 stars. Look at that. You can tell how old this is. The tape is already, All right. Monster in a Box I did see on video. Very good movie. Spalding Gray. If you like his monologues, this is worthwhile. First one he did was Swimming to Cambodia. Then he did another one later on, which I also liked, and I can't think of the title. Oh, Grey's Anatomy. Also quite good. He's somebody you can listen to, and it's enjoyable for an hour and a half. It's really quite good. Delicatessen I always enjoyed, but I never saw it in theaters. Haven't seen Christopher Columbus: The Discovery. Not exactly sure I will. I hate to say it, I haven't seen Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee. I think the only thing I've seen Brandon Lee, aside from The Crow, is maybe the Kung Fu, the when they brought back the TV series in the mid-'80s. Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, I've discussed on this channel before. Very good film. Didn't see it in theaters, unfortunately. Single White Female, mediocre. Again, I didn't really care for it. It's sort of like a Roman Polanski film in the sense that it mirrors a little bit the idea of an indoor apartment setting where paranoia can run amok, so to speak, if that makes any sense. So if you think of Repulsion or The Tenant, those are far better films than this. I know it's not quite the same, but yeah, Bridget Fonda, Jennifer Jason Leigh, you know, good cast, but I just didn't care for this film at all. It was banal to me, quite banal. But my brother said B-. Bridget does a fine job, so okay, you know. Never saw this movie. Wind, Matthew Modine, Jennifer Grey. There you go. Best Intentions, I did see, but I never quite wrote a review for it, but I didn't see it in theaters. So, there you go. Enchanted April, I did see in theaters. This was quite a good film by Mike Newell, or Newell, British director, Polly Walker. Yes, I like this film a lot. It's kind of like, you know, the Merchant Ivory type stuff, but this one was quite good, I thought. So, yeah, beautiful, luscious, and romantic. Yeah, I haven't seen it since. All right. Gas Food Lodging, I did see, but on video. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but there were moments in it that I liked. It's got a good cast. Never seen Captain Ron, can't comment, so there. Sneakers, I did see, but on video, which I liked. Good movie. Yeah, one of River Phoenix's last pictures. Sidney Poitier, I mean, it's a great cast. Alright, Bob Roberts I saw. I wasn't a huge fan of this. This was produced, I believe, by Robert Altman, directed by Tim Robbins. It could have been a lot better, I thought. Maybe today I would see it differently, I don't know. I guess I said that everything was a little one-dimensional, one-sided. So I don't know. I'd have to see it again. Husbands and Wives. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, this was a movie that Woody Allen was making during the time of that scandal with Mia Farrow. So, my brother gave it A-. I think it's a great film, but, you know, there are people out there that you can't even talk about Woody Allen anymore. And Mia Farrow's last film with Woody Allen, understandably. Liam Neeson, Sidney Pollack, he was terrific. Juliette Lewis, who I love, of course. Blythe Danner, I mean, it's worth seeing, but if you're bothered by the name Woody Allen, don't see it. That's all I can say. Singles I didn't see in theaters, but I love that movie. Last of the Mohicans I did see. I never actually finished writing it. Wow. I'll have to get back into this. Robin Hood for adults. I guess that would be correct. Although Robin Hood is also for adults, so I don't know. Yeah, alright. Not bad for Daniel Day-Lewis. My brother gave it a B. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, alright, School Ties. Oh, yeah, look at that. Brendan Fraser. I did like it, I guess. I sort of liked it. I would have to see it again. I don't remember it too well, but, alright. Blade Runner I did see in theaters. That was the first director's cut by Ridley Scott. It goes without saying. You all know what that's all about. A+, better than the first cut, I guess, my brother says. Alright. Hero. And that's a movie I sort of liked, I have to say. Dustin Hoffman plays a homeless man who saves some people after a plane crashes. Gina Davis is a reporter. And Andy Garcia, if I am not mistaken, he takes the credit for rescuing those people because Dustin Hoffman doesn't want any. So it was an interesting way of knowing how to really define a hero. And that's what I liked about it. And Chevy Chase has a small cameo. Night in the City, I like. It's a good movie. Robert De Niro, Jessica Lange. And, of course, this is a remake of the, excuse me, Jules Dassin 1950 film noir. I like it. He's fantastic in it. The ending doesn't quite work. It should have been fatalistic, but it's a fast-paced, entertaining movie, definitely. Glengarry Glen Ross I've seen many times, so unfortunately I never got to see it in theaters. Great film, one I will discuss maybe later on. My favorite David Mamet film, story, play, whatever. This is the cream of the crop for me. Great cast. Unfortunately, I didn't see that in theaters. Didn't see Mistress in theaters. Not quite as well known as The Player. Little Hollywood satire. Robert Wuhl, Danny Aiello, Robert De Niro, Martin Landau. Okay, Mr. Saturday Night, I would have to maybe... I've been told I should see it again. I haven't seen it since. I didn't see it in theaters, but on video. Same thing with The Public Eye, Joe Pesci. I never really cared for that movie. Both of these I saw on video. Of Mice and Men, I didn't see in theaters. Believe it or not, I didn't see Reservoir Dogs. Don't let that 2-star rating influence anyone. I think of Reservoir Dogs as one of the best Tarantino movies now. I think it was just ahead of its time. Wasn't quite ready for it. Candyman I have seen. It's a very good movie, but not in theaters. My brother gave it 2.5 stars. Dr. Gillis I never saw, but apparently my brother did. He says 1.5 stars. What does he say? What else do I have? Okay. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Rampage, William Friedkin's film, I did like. Very good movie with Alex MacArthur, based on a true story. Quite a shocker. Wish I'd seen that in theaters, but I did not. I haven't seen Waterland with Jeremy Irons, although I should. Okay, Bram Stoker's Dracula I did see in theaters, and I like it a lot more now than I did then. Although it is a stunning film, definitely a stunning achievement, I would agree. I don't think it's a wildly romantic masterpiece, but it is the most unusual Dracula film you might see. Visually splendid, just terrific in every sense of the word. Not exactly a scary movie, but definitely worthwhile. And my brother gave it 3 stars. All right, let's see here. Under Siege, I did not see in theaters. I did see Cabeza de Vaca in theaters, but I never wrote a review, but obviously I liked it. I would have to see it again. Again, this is 1992, 30 years ago. Oh, my brother said this is just the same as Die Hard, but good acting. 2.5 stars. All right. This is a very poor film, Consenting Adults, with Kevin Spacey, Kevin Kline. Not worthwhile. Terrible film. Wish I hadn't seen it in theaters. Zentropa is one of the films by Lars von Trier, and I like it a lot. It's the first Lars von Trier film I ever saw. I never wrote a review for it because I didn't really know how to discuss that film. It is quite wild and imaginatively done, but yeah, it requires more than one viewing. Someday, maybe. All right. And here it is. This is the film I would have picked for sure if it wasn't for Unforgiven. I would say a tie between Unforgiven and Malcolm X. Spike Lee's epic. Great film. There's nothing more I can say. Denzel Washington, you know the story. It's one of the great epic entertainments of all time, I think. It's a really special film. Jennifer 8 I saw, and I did like it, but on video, so that doesn't count. Okay, Home Alone 2, which I didn't see in theaters. It's not a 3-star film. I think in hindsight, I was a little too hasty with that rating. It actually is a 2-star movie. I mean, it's not bad, you know, but the first Home Alone is nothing great either. And my brother said not quite as good as the first. Yeah, I think he's correct in that. I don't think I ever saw Traces of Red. Certainly never wrote anything about it. I certainly did not see that in theaters. I didn't see Toys in theaters, but this is a really bad film. I would never want to see this again. Robin Williams, he's done better. Flirting, I believe, is with... Okay, Thandie Newton and perhaps Nicole Kidman. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I've seen this. Leap of Faith, I saw, but in video. Steve, you can do better, according to my brother. But this was a good film. This is pretty good. Light Sleeper, I do like, but I didn't see it in theaters. I did see Distinguished Gentleman in theaters. Not my favorite Eddie Murphy movie, but it was fairly decent. Again, from the same director of Jonathan Lynn of, oh goodness, My Cousin Vinny. All right. Oh, Light Sleeper, by the way, Paul Schrader, who directed it. So Willem Dafoe, Susan Sarandon, but I didn't see that in theaters. I didn't see Lover in theaters. Saw Aladdin in theaters. I liked that a lot. Very funny. Great role for Robin Williams. This is preferable to Toys. Forever Young, I didn't care for. Mel Gibson, back when he did a couple of romantic movies. Of course, today he wouldn't even think of it. But I don't remember a thing about this movie. That's all I could say. I think it was it Jamie Lee Curtis was in this? Yes. Yeah, I've kind of forgotten about this movie. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing I really particularly care for. The Bodyguard is a terrible film. I didn't like it. I tried to watch it again. I didn't care for it. My brother gave it 2 stars. Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston. Of course, it has some good songs, but that's about it. It's the one film by Lawrence Kasdan I really don't like, aside from Wyatt Earp, which he did a couple of years later after this movie. So, yeah, this was a huge hit. I don't understand how that happened, but I think it had a lot to do with Whitney Houston, not Kevin Costner. Peter's Friends I like a lot. That's a great movie. Kenneth Branagh, I saw it a few times back then. Definitely saw it in theaters. Wish I didn't see The Bodyguard in theaters, but what are you going to do? Okay, what else we got? Few Good Men is good. I like it. I don't love it, but it's a fine film. It's got a great performance by Jack Nicholson. I think he steals the movie. Rob Reiner directed. Hoffa I do like. I don't love it. Once again, Jack Nicholson, directed by Danny DeVito, who also stars. One of these days I will watch it again. I think the movie felt a little truncated, some of the events, a little jumbled, a little messy, but overall, pretty good film. Crying Game is a fantastic movie. I would give it higher than 3.5 stars. And my brother gave it an A-. All right, that's pretty good. Of course, Neil Jordan, great film. Trespass, I did see in theaters. Bad movie. Terrible film. Walter Hill, I didn't like it. That's all I got to say. It has to do with finding gold, I don't know, in some abandoned building. Muppet Christmas Carol I did see later on, but on video, or cable, I think. And that's quite a good movie. I wish I'd seen that in theaters. Son of Woman I did see in theaters. I love it. I think it's a terrific movie. Al Pacino, Chris O'Donnell. It's a remake of a French film, and that's quite good. Chaplin I sort of like, but I didn't see it in theaters. I'm going to try to pronounce this. Tous les matins du monde? Yeah, maybe. Okay, that's close. Gerard Depardieu, I did like it. I never wrote a review for that one. I guess I didn't know really how to discuss it. Who knows what was the reason. Damage, I wish I had seen in theaters, but I didn't. That's a very good film with Jeremy Irons. Passion Fish is also very good. John Sayles' film. Mary McDonnell, David Strathairn, and Alfred Woodard. I think, was it Alfred Woodard? No, Mary McDonnell was nominated for Best Actress, but Alfred deserved a nomination. I saw Used People, but on video. Lorenzo's Oil I saw in theaters. That was really a fantastic movie. Very powerful film, based on a true story. Nick Nolte playing an Italian. So the accent may not work for you, but whatever. My brother said 1.5 stars. Wow, sorry, Nick. Good acting by Susan. This is a George Miller film, by the way. So you can imagine how this film is alive and kicking. George Miller, there are 2 George Millers. So the one that did Mad Max, he directed this picture. Never saw this film. Someday, Catherine Deneuve, I always like. Bad Lieutenant, I did see in theaters. Very raw, very realistic film. Tough picture. I mean, not an easy work to deal with. Harvey Keitel's greatest performance ever. Bad Lieutenant. No question in my mind. This is a fantastic movie. Yeah, I would agree. Not an enjoyable film, nor is it meant to be. I think that's exactly right. Not for all tastes, but if you like the gritty side and the immoral side of particularly a police lieutenant taking advantage of the system, this is a film to see. Swoon I did see, but on video. Very good film about the Leopold Loeb murders. Living End I never saw. I believe that's by, Greg Araki. I did see his Doom Generation, which I have no desire to ever see again. But okay, and then the last one on here, before 1993, Love Field. What a terrible movie. Michelle Pfeiffer, Dennis Haysbert. I think it has to do with, well, Love Field, which is the I believe that's the airfield, right? Something like that, where President Kennedy, yeah, he was set to arrive on that fateful day, November 22nd, 1963 in Texas. So, but just terrible love story. So, okay, that's it. That's everything. There could have been some other films I saw in 1992, but this is the type of thing I did, and I figured it was a good idea to bring out a scrapbook. So the next one will be 1993, and we'll go back to 90 and 91 at a later date. And that's all I got to say about this, so I hope you enjoyed what you heard, and don't watch this movie, but if you do, tell me what you thought. Have you seen any of these movies in theaters back then? Any of you old enough? Older than 30 years old, I gather, at this point. What did you think of them? Do you agree with some of my assessments or whatever? I mean, this is very brief. But anyway, I just wanted to cover that, and I'm glad I did. That was certainly a look back for sure. Very nostalgic look back. Yeah, tell me your thoughts, and I guess that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe to my channel if you like what you hear. And this is Jerry Saravia at the Movies, signing off.